Welcome to the Dog and Pizzle Show. I'm here with my co-host. This is Pizzle with Dog in the house with the San Francisco Giants hat on. Rob, you just coming from baseball?
Yeah, man. The kids had a game tonight, and they had a walk-off tie, which I did not know was possible in baseball, but they capped them at 5 runs per inning. So so they scored 5 in the final inning, and it was tied 15-15, but it's better than a loss, and they played awesome.
All right, don't you can't fall into the freaking participation trophy. I mean, when we were kids growing up, I mean, were there ties? There weren't ties.
Yeah, no, there were no ties.
There was no
Yes,
ties.
somebody won or lost, and that was it. You
Yeah,
accepted it. But
and
apparently these days now there are ties in baseball.
yeah, and let's all
A walk-off tie, no less.
huh?
A walk-off tie, no less.
That's the part that that literally is the most frustrating thing because what the a tie, a tie. Imagine going to play in a tournament and all right, we're stopping the game at 15-15. It's a tie.
That's it. That's it. You get a gold medal, and your teammate on the other team gets a gold medal, and you each get a silver, but you got to figure out who's getting what because you guys split it.
I don't understand. That's what it's going to lead to growing down the road. No, the whole entire participation trophy, and I got kids. I don't want them to lose. When we lose in pickleball, doesn't that build character?
Yeah, it's part of the game.
It's part of the game. Oh my gosh, man. Anyways, but I'm happy that you guys. So were you guys on the side that was losing that tied it up to make it a walk off, or were you on the winning side?
We walked off to achieve the tie. Yeah, so they were down 15-10 in the bottom of the inning. They were the home
Oh,
team, and they scored 5 runs.
how do you not?
Bryson Dog went 3 for 3 tonight. The kid's fierce
Dude, he is. He's not shy. He's not afraid of the ball. He steps right into it, man.
for sure, man.
Eh,
He's doing well. He's a
that's
baller.
all.
He's no Mac like your dog, no, but he's close.
We have
He can
some news coming up in pickleball. I want to talk about the DUPR reset, and also I want to talk about. And you had this at your tournament. You are again one of the setters out there in the industry. The lifetime pickleball. I was watching the PPA on Sunday, which was some absolute amazing games. One thing I noticed was the lifetime LT pickleball that they were using, and you used it at your most recent tournament.
Yeah. So there's a reason for that actually, and the reason was because a lot of the PPA tournaments are using them now. So, and it's twofold. One, we were playing in some PPA events at the end of last year. We kind of just said, let's start playing with lifetime balls. The other thing is, I feel it's a lot easier to learn how to use a lifetime ball, use it frequently. And then if you go to a place that somebody's playing with a Franklin or a tournament's playing with a Franklin, there's not much adjustment. I feel, oh, okay, I'm going to switch to a Franklin. But if you're playing with Franklins and you show up somewhere and all of a sudden you have to play with a lifetime, I feel like the learning curve is significantly different. It's picking side and, oh, we're going to be hitting into the wind to start, and then we're going to start the second half of the game with the wind at our back, and it just goes south. It's a lot easier to adjust the other way around.
And speaking of wind, that is, and I went on to Chat GPT and I said the question I typed in was, why are pickleball players switching to lifetime pickleballs over Franklin? And it says players aren't universally switching, but there is a noticeable shift, especially among competitive and high level rec players towards lifetime pickleballs. And it comes down to a few differences in speed, durability, and play style. And before lifetime, I prefer to use a Vulcan for that reason of windy conditions. And I don't know about the most recent play that you've had, but it seems last week there has been a lot of wind. And
Oh, yeah.
I went to drill today and there was a ton of wind. I wanted to use a lifetime, but the league that we're in is Franklin. The recent tournament I played in was Franklin, but we live in Florida and this is the time of the year. The old April showers bring May flowers. With rain comes wind. So I think a lot of people, a lot of tournaments and leagues need to probably make that move for that reason, because when we were drilling today, hitting a Franklin, the ball would just shift with the wind.
Yeah.
And with the technology of paddles, it's a lot easier to spin a ball. So you're kind of with that harder ball using more of a skill. And also with the wind, it makes it a little easier to play in and more enjoyable, and not having so many people complain and using the wind as an excuse of, why they're playing like crap.
Yeah, I'll it probably freaking 90% of the tournaments I played in so far have been Franklin, right? But it seems now lately that shift is starting to take place where lifetime is becoming more prevalent.
It's the ball for the PP. I mean, if we all aspire to be these high competitive players, then I think that is something that hopefully at Whispering, at Howpat, the parks that we play at, they start to make that move. But and this is why players are switching over to Lifetime. So I'll share I'll share a few of them, and as I'm sharing them, feel free to chime in. Faster, more aggressive gameplay.
Yeah, agree, 100%. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, the ball comes in quick for sure.
it
It's
does.
poppy.
Playing singles with a Lifetime. Holy cow. If you're playing against somebody who drives, but again, having a ball that's a lot faster, well, that's going to require for somebody like myself when I play singles, if I hit a ball back to them and it's faster ball, they're going to hit it right by me. So I'm having to adjust my game, which requires more skill.
Right,
Better
but
in
think about it for a sec, right? If you're
yeah,
if you're getting used to playing with the faster lifetime ball, it's putting a donut on a baseball bat. What I'm saying, you get up there now and it's
that's a
the
good
bat
point.
feels lighter. You're playing with a faster ball, and then when you jump in and play with a Franklin ball, now your muscle memory, your timing has adjusted for that faster ball. You're only going to have that much more time when you switch back to a Franklin or play in a tournament than maybe having a Franklin.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. That's a good analogy. Better in wind and outdoor conditions. I think we kind of hit that over the head. It says here they're slightly heavier and cut through wind, better than Franklin. And it has here asterisk big deal in places like Florida, Texas, or anywhere breezy. Improved durability, especially in cold. Now we're in Florida. We may not have so much of the cold weather be, but
Yeah. So
Franklins, though, over time, they get dead. You can just squeeze after you use it so much, and it's a dead ball.
yeah. So back in when we had our cold 3 weeks there, back in what was it, December or January? I went to Halpat one morning, and in a 3 hour session, we broke 5 Franklins, and that was the immediate for me. All right, screw this. I'm going to buy a bunch of lifetimes for myself. And at that point, I'm going to buy a bunch for our next tournament and give it a shot too. But I with lifetime so far, and I wouldn't say I play with them constantly, but I have yet to see one warp, one crack, one get misshapen, or other than getting scuffed up, starting to wear a little bit minor. It really doesn't change. And the Franklin ball, I don't never see a Franklin warp. Typically, I'll see them start to crack around the holes. Selkirks get freaking egg shaped after a couple of games. I have not played with Vulcan too much, so I really can't give too much feedback, and you might know that better. What's your experience with those?
Vulcan, yeah, Selkirks, I'm not a big fan of. I'm almost like with the diehard Franklin people when they have another ball come out that's not a Franklin. You think that you would just kick their dog or something. It's seriously, what is this? It's a different ball besides a Franklin, right? Like,
Right.
relax, man.
No.
Yeah, these OPs. Vulcans have gotten a little, let's say, or warp, but they do go back to its form during different changes of temperature. They hold well in the wind. I love Vulcans for that. They're a great ball to drill with because again, they last. I mean, Franklins, if you drill a lot, you repetitively hit it, hit it, and hit it, you're going through and cycle through a lot of those balls. Um, Actually, one time I was playing with a Franklin, and we ended up. These two ladies came over at Whispering, and we split the teams up. And I literally, they left one up for me, and I smashed it. And I guess I have a pretty decent smash, hard shot.
I'd like to get a speed on that.
I don't know how it happens. I don't know what's behind it, but it has been compared to a 22 shotgun. But anyways, the ball hit the ground, Rob. It broke in half.
Really?
Broke
I've
it
never
broke.
seen that.
Now, okay, yes, I hit a ball hard, but I don't think it was the velocity I hit it. But it says here, so the third one is, I think we said this already, improved durability, especially in the cold, and they develop internal cracks. Franklins do that mess the bounce up. Lifetime, they resist cracking better in the cold and they stay around longer.
I'm
Why don't people just take a moment right now, everybody together, go to their mouse, their finger on their phone, what have you, like, subscribe, because we are in it to win it. We are committed to building this channel. We are going to get everything that we can out there, but we need everybody's support. So smash that like button. I dare you. All right. So, number 4, pro influence. The PPA Tour adoption. Lifetime has become the official ball of the PPA Tour, which instantly exposes it more players to it, and it makes competitive players practice with it. Okay, so why many players still stick with Franklin? The Franklin hasn't gone anywhere. It is the most common ball in the U.S., known for predictable bounce and control, used in many leagues and rec play, easier for beginner and casual play. Bottom line, switching to lifetime equals chasing speed, durability, and pro style play. That sounds good to me. Pro style
Sure
play,
does.
durability. I like to save money. Sticking with a Franklin, prioritizing control, consistency, and familiarity. So there you go. Lifetime versus Franklin. Anything you want to add to that before we jump onto the Duper reset?
No, I don't think so.
I will say the tournament, and I'll give a plug to myself and pat myself on the back. And Mr. Jeremy Chips, it was his first tournament on Saturday, 4-0. And we lost Rob, but we can hear him. There he is. He's back. But they used Franklin, and one of the teams that we played, they were warming up with Lifetime, and they're like, "Hey, do you mind if we play with this ball?" Typically, I would say, "Hey, I have no problem." But 5 games prior to that, I was using a Franklin. Mentally, I'm locked into a tournament. One little change, yeah, it does throw me off a little bit. So I said no, I prefer to use the Franklin. Anyways, they proceeded
So
to beat us.
my notes here, actually, I don't want to give them all away, so I covered them. But my top note here was actually to bring up that Mark and Jeremy took home the bronze medal in that tournament this past weekend. So congrats on that, guys.
Yeah, that was really, really neat. We That was Jeremy's first tournament ever, and he gets thrown into a well, actually played a singles 3.5 a few months ago at Whispering. Didn't even get a medal, but has put in a lot of time, has put in a lot of practice, and we went into this tournament. We had 9 teams in our pool, I believe, and we ended up getting bronze. And I was
Solid teams too. Actually, I saw stalked the division before you played in it too. But I saw the same people that played in our tournament the week prior or whatever. You
yeah,
played with Arvin in that one, so different partner for you. But James, who took home gold, and I got to give a shout out to Who Def and Charlie for donating that paddle that James won, and he took home gold with that new paddle. He played with a different partner. And then the team who took home silver, what was that? Noah and Rob played in the Dinkin' Dogs tournament. You guys played against them too the prior week. So same kind of guys up in that the standings there. Nice.
correct, correct. Yeah, and that was, and I have to say, as that tournament went on, and I think we talked about this with Brian and Christina about switching partners. And I've been known to do that too. Oh, a tournament's coming up because it's hard. People have lives outside of pickleball, hard to
Right.
imagine. But
How dare they?
it is mind-boggling. But to have a partner for league and for tournament going into this tournament was a big difference for me. And Jeremy, I got to say, I've told him week after week, I've seen this growth in this game. And then on Saturday, it was really neat to watch the course of a day where you're like just engulfed in a just game after game after game and different people outside of the place that you play in the comfort zone of your park, your surroundings. I saw his game grow and grow and grow during the day. And even into going into last night's league, you saw that growth. You saw that experience. Now, if we didn't get a medal, okay, no, so be it. That's great as well. But it was heading yourself in that position of uncomfortable because growth happens when you are uncomfortable. And I was super pleased to finish that day
I thought I saw. Did you pickle a team in that tournament?
for the
I
bronze.
thought I
That
saw
was because they forfeited.
the
But
bronze medal match. I forfeited.
the guy had heat stroke. Yeah, but we beat him.
Oh,
We beat them earlier, 11-4, 11-5. So they weren't really look, anything
yeah. Was
anything can
that a
happen in a
Duper
game,
rated
but
tournament?
huh?
Was that a DUPR rated tournament?
Yep.
I'm curious how that works for DUPR, right? Because they forfeit and they lose 15-0. That's got to really skew their DUPR score. I know I had a team drop out of one of my tournaments a couple months back, and it was not a DUPR rated tournament, but I put the score in as 1-0 because that's what the recommendation was from the software I used. But I'm curious. That's a good question to poll. What's the right answer there when a team drops out or can't continue to compete? Do you put in 1-0? Do you put in 15-0 or 11-0 if you're playing to 11? Do you put 7-0 so you're giving a half, split the difference? That would be something that I'd be interested to get maybe some feedback on.
That would be a great question to ask. I think the right answer would be 1-0 because I wouldn't want an inflated duper.
Yeah, it gives you the win,
And also,
but
if
it also
then
doesn't,
why is
like, look
somebody
like
be
you got
why
blown
would
out, right?
also that other team be penalized with their duper for having a heat stroke?
Especially the guy who had the street heat stroke, get it. You're the one that got sick. What can I do about it? But the partner, now he takes an ass whooping 15-0 in his duper score. That's rough.
Yeah, and
And this will be a good segue to our next topic probably at some point. But
yeah, and what happens with the next tournament that they go in and play in? And let's say they are at a 4.05, 4.1 before, and because of taking that 15-0 number, they go down to a 3.95. So now they're playing, let's say the difference was from one bracket to another. Now the team that they go play against, they're a superior team rated wise, and it's just kind of it trickles down. It just keeps on going. I think the right answer is yeah, make it 1-0 so it doesn't affect more than just that one game. So going forward,
I'm gonna post. We're gonna get back to the fans on this. I'm gonna put a poll out there, maybe on like really high level site on Facebook or something that's got a lot of players, like kitchen or something like that. And I want to ask that question, and kind of maybe we'll go over what the feedback does. As a tournament director, as a player, what is the preferred way to handle that situation?
yeah, yeah, and see how many people. I think it's the options in there too should be if you're going to do a poll. One option also is they don't care because some people.
Who doesn't care?
No, the person that you pull it, right? They're indifferent as an option. But
Yeah, I just think about the flip side, not so much duper dropping, right? But let's say if you have another tournament that you're playing in a few weeks now, and all of a sudden that 15-0 win bumps you up to the point where now you're, let's say, over 4-5, and you can't play in the 4-0 bracket you signed up
well, that
for, and
that
now
yeah,
you
that's
almost screw
and
your
vice
partner.
versa, right? Now you're playing
Yeah,
you're a higher rated player and it knocks you down to a lower rating and now you're just wiping through it and you from a I was at a league the other day and you were playing with me that night I had to rush out of Whispering and the court next to us was a league and it was a 3-5 league. These two guys just got their asses handed to them and I know the two guys that won and the I know the guy who lost, nice guy. I'm not going to say any names, but he was like, "You guys have no business being in this league. You're 4.0 players, right?" Now, let's say because of
isn't it a 4.0 league?
no 3.5.
Okay.
We were you and I were playing that night when we were recording Blake and the kids and so forth. So,
Oh, that was the 3.5 night. I
yeah,
got you. Yeah, yeah.
and the guys playing were on a roll. We had a good night. And but that could be that kind of example where somebody goes in, they spend 65, $75 to play in a tournament, and now they're taken to the woodshed because the other team got a 15-0 loss because that previous tournament they had a heat stroke and now they went to a 3.65 and they're able to play in 3.5 and they just whooped up on that person. And really they're a 4.0 team, let's say. But that's exactly, people get chippy, man. They get really, but let's face it, that will never change uh tournaments. We all heard that people will sandbag a tournament, their duper rating, so they can go ahead and walk out of there with some hardware. Or they refuse to play in something that is duper rated because they do not want to have their duper affected so they can constantly play in the bracket that they feel the most comfortable in. That for me is like once you grow a pair and go get your ass handed to you because I don't spend my time into this sport, investing my time into it if I'm not looking to get better. I
And it's
always
like it's funny too because when people go play rec play, they always try to play with better players because they want to learn and be exposed to that type of level of play and environment. And then they want to walk into a tournament and just spank the shit out of all the teams and walk away with a medal for $4.
what's the point?
What's the point? Yeah.
Yeah, I have been in some tournaments where I got my ass handed to me and it wasn't fun. because I had expectations. But at the same time, holy cow, if I want to be consistently at that level, this is what I need to do. I don't want to go into a 3-5 tournament, get a gold, a silver, whatever it may be, and be like having it up here and like, yeah, look at my medals. And it's like, okay, but then I'm not getting any better.
Yeah, I
So
played down in every one of those tournaments.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
let's played 4 or 5 for the first time a couple months ago, and I did not win one game, and I got close a couple games, but I like the learning experience, right? I mean, I can go hire a pickleball coach, right? Spend, anywhere from like 60 to $100 an hour for a lesson. That's 1 hour, right? Or I can go and play in a league that cost me maybe $40 over the course of 6 weeks and learn playing against really good players. I think it's worth it.
No,
The learning experience is worth $40.
yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree. And speaking of Duper, there is the reset coming out, and I thought I didn't know really too much about it when you posted inside of the Dinkin' Dogs chat about people just paying you and they can beat you. Yeah. I didn't quite get that. Obviously, more people are talking about and again, here you are with on top of all of the pickleball news and doing something that is out, yes, but not a lot of people talking about it. And you constantly keep pickleball news out in front of everybody. But it is the duper and how it works. So you register for a reset, you sign up to, and you can go on to Duper for this. I'm looking at it right now. The first step is sign up to lock in your spot before the window opens. Number two is you play your
When does the
matches.
window open?
The window opens reset period, March 16th and May 17th. So it's already started.
Okay, and it's 39.99 or something like that?
Yeah, I think it's
There's a fee. It was either 29.99 or
34.99 or
39.99.
39.99. I saw it here in a second. I'll bring that
So,
part up.
whatever, somewhere between 30 and
Yeah, and
$40,
number
right?
2 is step 2, you complete a minimum of 8 matches with 2 different partners during the reset window for doubles, 8 matches against 2 different opponents for singles. It says here, note, Duper is subject to our community guidelines. Any form of cheating, that never happens. Intentional tanking, that never happens. Match fixing or data manipulation undermines integrity. Okay, that's just kind of step 3, get your new rating. So your reset rating is calculated using only matches during the window. Number 4, here we go. Keep the higher rating. So if your reset rating is lower than your original, your higher rating is retained.
Try now for 0 risk.
All upside, 0 downside. And then they have a link there that you can click on. So those are the 4 steps that you have to follow. Can my rating go down if I do a reset? No. Players keep the higher rating of their original rating or reset rating. So you can't go
Odd.
down.
Right.
So this is really for people who want
So
to
this is
have their
like the
duper.
duper inflation project. We're gonna try to appease the masses of people that bitched about their duper score going down.
So yeah, they want to
So,
have it go up. Is
right. So, how
Just
do you
go
feel
just go
about it,
play the
right?
tournament because I don't think anybody is gonna say, "I'm a 3.45," and you go sign up for a 4.0 tournament. Nope, we're not gonna
No,
take.
they never. I don't. As far as I know, most tournaments will let you play up. I think you can set a restriction in terms of like how far you can play up. If you're a 2.5, I don't think you can play in a 4.0. Usually, it's a point 0.5 or 1 point difference they'll allow. It's really up to the
Well,
tournament
if you're a
director to decide.
2.5, then most likely your reliability score is not that high. You may have played.
Yeah, well, I can tell you that I played against a person that was a 2.5 in a tournament back probably about a year ago, and this lady played with it was a 4.0 to 4.99 bracket, and this lady was not a 2.8 or whatever her duper score said by far, and they kicked the crap out of us, and that hurt my duper score tremendously. But that's not the only thing. I mean, my duper score is 3.5, and it's stuck there forever.
Okay. Have you noticed the lights behind me keep on flickering?
Yeah, I noticed that too. Before my camera was doing my shirt was doing this. I think it's just the camera like readjusting. So all
So
right.
yeah,
Would
so
you do the duper reset?
it's 34.99, and so read the things there. Look, I'm not gonna redo my score. I'm happy with mine. What's your duper?
Mine is locked in at like a 3.5 something with 100 reliability score, and it's been fluctuating between like 3.5 and 3.7 for a year now and hasn't really changed much. And My first initial thing was like, I am not doing a DUPR reset. I don't give a crap. I started to think more about it recently, like maybe I might change my mind, but I think I'm gonna leave it alone. Yeah, I'm a 3.535 with 100% reliability score.
My duper, as of right now for doubles is 3.818 with 100% reliability. So what's coming up here, Rob? Tell me what's you have what's rolling out here? What's going on with you and Big Deal Pickle and the kids program?
Here is the deal. So we are going to do a kids league, but it's not going to be structured so much as a league that we play in. It's going to be about kind of bringing kids together, maybe establish a baseline for skill level. But prior to that, the first thing we have kicking off, which is going to be, go to my notes here for a sec. Yeah. So Sunday, April 26th at Whispering Pines at 8:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. For $30 a player. We are going to be doing a youth intro to pickleball camp clinic, and no prior experience required. If it's a kid that's never played pickleball, never played sports before, this is a thing for them. If they are a little more experienced player, seasoned, that'll work too. But we'll do some fundamentals, some drills, some games. We'll have a couple courts, and then if they want to stay after and play a little bit more competitively, they can. But this is our kickoff event to kind of get into social media about it and stuff and let people know what's coming out. And shortly after that, we're going to try and build a program around that.
That's awesome. I think just from watching Blake with your kids, and at this point, everybody else has now seen it. That is exciting. I know that episode, if you have kids or don't have kids, do us a favor. And this is not for just promoting the show, but share it with parents who are looking for something for their kids to do because, um, it is a way that the kids can experience what the adults experience with the community aspect. We've talked about it before. It is one of the rare sports that you can have multiple generations playing a sport at the same time on the same court because you can't really do that in basketball. Can't do that in softball or baseball. You can't do that really in tennis. You sure as heck can't do that on the soccer field, football, and American football. So pickleball is one of the rare sports that everybody can go out together and experience. So definitely, please check out that episode. It's the one before this one and share it with others. Rob, anything that you want to, I know you have your notes that you want to bring up.
I got a couple things I want to talk about too. So when you're playing in a league or tournament, do you like to have people on the sidelines, or do you like nobody watching me and I just want to play my game and I don't want cheering for me or the other team? What do you prefer there?
I want a crowd.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
I want a crowd. Want it was funny when we were at your tournament, getting abused. I'm sorry, we were losing to Kyle and
To Kyle and David.
David. And they're so nice. It's hard to get pissed off when you get your ass handed to you by those kids. I love those guys. But there was like they would hit this miraculous shot, and I forget the lady's name, but she's literally right behind me. She's like, and I just happened to go like this. That's like the 17th drive in a row they've hit by me. And it's just, I'm so sorry. I'm like, no, that's okay. I was just wanting to see who was clapping. But it definitely,
Like, yo, you go on that corner, okay? Like a boxing ring, you go to your corner and you go cheer for them on that side of the court.
yeah. But it definitely, I enjoy it. What about you? You said you like it too?
I like it too. I typically feel I will play better when there's a crowd watching, regardless of whether they're cheering for me or not, because it kind of, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but it almost feels you're trying to put on a show or you're trying to showcase your skills and people are watching. Maybe I won't try that stupid backhand spin shot that I might try normally, but no, I take it much more seriously, I think, when people are watching. I don't know how I'd feel if it was in a giant arena, like with some of these pickleball matches you watch on TV where there's people watching. That's a lot. And this goes back to when I started, but me and Kim had played in a league. It was probably our first or second league. We were playing 3-0, and we were in the finals, and the team we were playing against must have brought 15 people there, and they were all on their side of the court. cheering for them, but I kind of felt like it amped us up and we played better. And I don't remember if we went to 3 games or how it worked out or whatever, but it ended up at one point that the people were actually cheering for us too, because that's how good of a match it was. That they were nice fans too. They weren't like I played in some other tournaments where there's some dickish fans and they're like literally trying to get in your head across the court for the people they're cheering for. And to me, that's fucked up. Stay out of it. It's the reason why you're not on this court right now. So fuck off. But they were cheering for us too, and it was electrifying. Like, it got us amped up too at one point, because like, literally, like, they were like, we would make a good shot, and they were just totally into it. Like, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, yeah.
Another topic I wanted to bring up was, and this would be maybe another poll topic, but if you're a player in a tournament and you sign up for a division, and I'll use our tournament for example. So we created divisions recently in a tournament for a 3-0 bracket and a 3-5 bracket. And if 4 teams signed up for 3-0 and 4 teams signed up for 3-5, would you rather play your bracket with 3 other teams and 3 of the 4 teams get a medal and one doesn't? Or would you rather the brackets be merged together, 3-0 to 399, which is what we did, and now you play, let's say, 2 pools, 8 teams, or you get to play more teams if we merge them together? What does the general tournament player prefer there in that scenario? Because
See that one
tournaments are
there.
doing it different. I know we merged brackets. I know the tournament you played in this weekend, I saw a lot of brackets where like 4 teams and 3 of them got medals. What's the
Yeah,
preferred thing? What would you prefer?
I would I would I rather have a hard some tournaments you go to, the registration closes well in advance of the tournament starting. So you have that option not to play in it if they do something like that. Because let's say if your reliability is low and you're playing against somebody like mine's a 3 point, I wouldn't play in a tournament less than a 4. That's just my preference. But if I
Mhm.
go and I play against somebody who's a 3, most likely I'm gonna really or somebody would destroy them.
Yeah,
Not to be
sure.
not to be cocky or arrogant about that, it's just the experience and why your rating is there. So that being said, I would definitely be that's one that is I would cite with I would not want to be in a tournament where there's 3 people in my pool, that's it, and, I play 3 games and I'm paying 20 some odd bucks a game. So I would say
Yeah. Well, what if you played both teams twice?
at the same time, though, it's just for me, I'd rather have the option because but I understand your position as a person running a tournament. You have commitments, you have investments that you put into it. But I would say on that front, I would say then get more things done on the marketing side to get people to the event or not. So that event had I played in 214 registered players, I believe, something along those lines.
208,
2 okay.
but who's
Who's
counting?
counting? I mean,
I
yeah,
track it. Well, it was about 208. Yeah,
okay,
I think 208 was the number, but
208, but it had 150 brackets. So when you have so many, you're gonna have a few of them that are 2 teams, 3 teams. So
yeah.
maybe if it's a newer tournament that you just don't have the opportunity for a certain bracket to sign up or the brackets are, a wider range. So then that way, somebody like myself could go and play with somebody who was a 3-0. Okay, I feel okay with that combined score to go and uh, or combine the teams and make it MLP type of duper. Say, hey, listen, guys, we're gonna do an MLP duper where we're gonna put you guys together, and your combined duper now is 14.6. You're 14.4. You're 14.3. You did the draft for them, and now they're okay. Great. Better than would you rather have just three of you guys play in your bracket and y'all get a trophy? Back to the way we started the show. Here's your participation trophy.
That's kind of my take on it. Obviously, I care about player feedback, and that's why I'm asking the question. So we're going to do more research on this and kind of see what the and you're never gonna appease everybody. You're gonna ask the question, you're gonna get many different opinions, but I am
Yeah.
going to put it out to poll, because some people did bring it up like, oh, yeah, it's deceitful that you had a 3-0 to 3-5 and then you put us in a 3-0 to 3-9 and we're playing against 3-9 players. I mean, the verbiage that we put in the original description of the tournament states that at tournament discretion, tournament director's discretion, we could combine brackets if we need to. And that's what we did. That's the decision we made. But I'd like to get more feedback in terms of
Well,
your thing about promote it better. I don't know what else
I
to do
don't
to
know.
promote
I
tournaments.
don't. I'm only thinking because there's only so much you can do. Maybe I played in a tournament somewhere else. I'm not going to mention names because by no means would I ever mention the tournament location as a way to either build up or take it down. But it was a 50 plus tournament bracket that I was playing in. I know. I look. I'm 28. It's crazy. It's crazy how young I look, and I'm really old. But um
Podcasting will do that to you.
exactly. Uh, they put a 3-5, 3-7, whatever player in our, bracket, and he was really a 3.9, and he was, like, 30 years old, 32. Well, him and his partner, ended up pickling us, and I was pissed. How is somebody able to be 30 years old, 20 some odd years younger than me in our bracket, and
Yeah.
they got gold, and it upset a lot of people that were there. So, because the bracket that he was in and her, the mixed doubles, only had 2 other people, and I think that other team was so close to a 4-0, they went ahead and put them in the 4-0 bracket. That's
Right.
playing 3-5.
Yeah, it's tough. I see the other side of it now, being a tournament director, and you have to make decisions that you feel is best for the group. And it's hard because you're always going to piss somebody off. Some people are going to be happy about it. Some are going to be pissed. Yeah, but I do want to get more feedback on it. The tournament that I have coming up next on May 23rd, I just put it out there 3-0 to 399 this time. And I'm like, let me try this time so that people kind of know what they're getting into. I don't know what the
But then
success
at
rate's
the
going to
same
be.
time, though, too, with that, do people not sign up because if they're afraid they'll be either pit against the higher or lower side that they don't wanna face against? Why spend the money? So
Right,
it
and
is.
that's a chance we're taking. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, man, I can promote the ever living shit out of a fucking tournament, and literally 3 days before, people who are good friends of mine who are on my Facebook will be like, "Oh my god, you're having a tournament, Rob? I still get in." And it like closed 2 days ago, and I'm like, "Dude, where have you been, man? You live under a rock?" "Yeah, I want more teams in the division. It's
Yeah.
better for the players that so I will reopen the registration and put those people in and try to put them in the appropriate spots." Everybody waits to that last week to sign up. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's a difficult one. I would love to see it. Maybe see the thing about you though that is different than other tournaments. Even if people bitch about what you may do or did, I think they quickly get over it because they know that you are only doing things for the players, for the tournament, not for you to pad your pocket. Because some of them you don't make money, some of them you lose money.
Yeah, we lost money on the last one we did.
I know you did,
And you know what?
but
I just wanna
but
go back
you
2
don't
seconds to what
if I didn't say that, you wouldn't have brought that up. That's just you,
No,
and
no,
that's you and
no.
Aaron. You guys don't sit there and you just keep on doing what you're doing because of the passion that you have, and it's great because you guys bring and I'm not saying this, but it's just true. You bring a lot to the community. You bring a lot to the game. So that right there, I've never heard another tournament director ask about that.
Thank you. Yeah, and I just wanna cite, like, last tournament we had, somebody came up to me and was like, "How did the standings determine that we were in 3rd place when we beat the 2nd place team?" And I'm looking at the software, and I gotta be honest, I'm like, "I have no fucking idea." I'm looking at it, and I'm like, "Well, I don't know. It says they're number 2 and you're number 3." And so, like, my immediate answer was like, obviously, the show got has to go on. So my immediate answer was like, "This is what the software has determined, and that's the way it is." And then, like, they walked away, they went and played their match. Everybody finished in the exact same spot that they finished in the pool anyway, in that bracket. But as they were playing, should I have done something different? So immediately when they finished playing, I just went up to them and I said, "Listen, man," I said, "I'm going to do research and find out an answer for you. And I'm going to get back to you after this tournament." And I said, if I determine that like we did something wrong and made a mistake, I will give you free entry to our next tournament. And I did. 2 days later, I went and I looked and I contacted the software and I tried to figure it out. And I went on Chat GPT and I typed it up. And it gave a justifiable reason because there was actually a three-way tie for first place. So when there's a three-way tie, it looks at who beat who next. Well, first place lost to second place, but had a higher point differential. Second lost to third, but had a higher differential. And third place beat first or whatever, however it worked. I posted it on social media. I can't explain it off the top of my head now, but so then it automatically looks and says, okay, if there's a tie 3 ways, then we can't determine who beat who because that's not a viable option, and immediately goes to point differential. So I got back to them. I let them know that stuff. And I hope they appreciated that. And we want to make a better experience for the players, because if the players don't come back, then
Yeah.
we don't even have a brand or a company or any of that
But I
stuff.
guarantee you no other tournament director would have gone and researched that.
Sure. So just to keep our viewers in the loop of what is happening in the next few weeks that I know of anyway, let's see. On May 9th, we have the BOLA and iMind tournament, and that's for a good cause, supporting mental health, and that is going to be at Whispering Pines. Lots of different divisions there taking place. A lot of good sponsors. Should be some really good competition, so check that out, May 9th, Whispering Pines. Also on May 9th, in Palm City at Harbor Ridge will be the Pickles for Paws tournament. Another great cause. We will actually have a table set up there as well. I might play in that one too. I was going to play in the iMind tournament originally, but I also told them I was going to set up a table at Pickles for Paws, and now it's the same day. I'm kind of like, all right, well, I did say I was going to set up a table, so we're going to do that, but we're going to donate something to iMind as well since we can't be there. But check out either of those events, or if you can play in both of them, great. I think the iMind tournament may be much bigger, so that you might have opportunity to play Pickles for Paws in the morning, go to iMind in the afternoon, or vice versa, or whatever. But figure it out. Two really good events for good causes. May 23rd is the Dinkin' Dogs tournament at Howard Park, and we are partnered with Nikki Roth and the Palm Beach Royals on that event.
When's that
So
event?
check that out. This is May 23rd at Howard Park. I have a co-ed 4-0 division in that one, so I posted it as co-ed this time since the entry typically is not very high for 4-0 plus players there. Figured give people an opportunity to still get their 4-0 fix. And then we have men's, women's, and mixed 3-0 to 3.99. We're going to try and post it that way this time to see if people take an interest to registering in that, rather than us having to like combine divisions. I did take the feedback from the people at the last tournament. We're going to give it a shot and we'll see what happens.
Awesome. I love that.
And I have another subject if you want to move on.
Yeah, hell yeah, because it's
And you are going to love this subject, Mr. Diaz.
oh,
So I purchased this week Swing Vision, and I have the swing stick coming to my house in the next couple of days, which you can take your phone and put it up on a fence post behind you, like way up in the air, and it'll watch the court. And maybe, I don't know, maybe we can get, like, when we post this, like a video up to show a quick clip of what it does, because that would far explain it better than anything I could. But just to give you a little bit of what I took away from it, the thing will monitor shots. It'll tell you how many backhands, forehands, drops, dinks, slices, whatever you hit, your ball speed. It does your average ball speed. So it's not from a lot of radars will pick your highest ball speed from the moment of impact or something like that. But this one actually averages it over the course of your entire shot.
you know what's
What
really
else?
cool too?
There's a mode.
The cool thing about that too, I had Swing Vision for a bit, and you can actually on your Apple Watch look at it on your watch, and it will show you the replay on your watch. So if somebody wants to contest the shot in or out, just like they have in the pro tournaments, you have that ability to do it right from your watch, which is really neat.
Yeah. So let's test that out over the next couple of weeks, because I'd actually like to use that like in the finals of our next
Yeah.
tournament, if I can get it up and running and understand it well
I'll
enough
I'll
by
I'll
then.
help you.
Because I think
It's very simple. The cool thing about having that too is you don't necessarily have to be a member with the I don't think you do. I gotta look at that again. But if you sign up with an account, then when you go play, you can have, okay, who's player 1, player 2, player 3, player 4.
100% right. Yep.
Yep.
So yeah, you can just sign up for free, and I can put your little icon there, MD, let's say, for Mark Diaz, and it'll tell us all the shots that you did in that game.
Mhm.
And the number one reason I bought it, and this is why, right? Because I saw that it now has a ball machine mode, and I bought a ball machine and I never freaking use it. When you go hit in a ball machine, how do you know that you're not sitting there and practicing a shot that is like the worst form ever? because you could very well just be building up muscle memory for a shit shot. And this will tell you actually if you're using proper form on that. And you can also pay a little fee, I think, and send it to like a bunch of coaches, and they will coach you on that as well and send you feedback. So that's really cool. So we're going to break that out. We're going to test it out. We're going to test it out with the bowling machine. I know you said that you and Josh want to try the bowling machine. So I'd like to come out one day and let's test both at the same time. And then we'll come back to the viewers and give them honest feedback on, the swing vision, how it worked out, and maybe some pros and cons, and kind of give a review too.
Yeah, I definitely I had it and I got rid of it just because of the simple fact of it wasn't at that time for me when I got it. It was the I didn't have the stick, and I think the stick is huge because I was using a tripod and I wanted to have it high on the
Yep.
tripod. Well,
Yeah, I
the
think you'd
wind
really need that
the
like
wind
downward trajectory
yeah,
onto the court.
the wind would knock over the tripod. And then,
Yeah, and
what
that's another thing too.
and
They
then I tried to get it on the
also video on
fence.
fence placement.
Yeah,
Yep.
with the stick, it's easy to just put up there and be done with it.
Yeah, and you gotta be careful, like, if it's a fence that has a wind barrier, like, if the wind barrier is blowing, it's gonna move your swing stick, so they told you, like, how to circumvent that problem when you mount it too, or, like, if the typically, you don't want it facing into the sun, but if you have to face it in the sun so that it's pushing the wind's pushed it up against the fence and it's not flopping on that side, then that's the better option
Well,
versus having it on the right side and
the
it's flopping around in
the
the
one
wind.
thing that's really neat about having the stick is it does have, like, a visor on it that will prevent your phone from burning up and, like, getting to the point where you can't use it. That's
Yep,
cool.
it came with all of that, and I got all that
Yeah.
stuff for free actually for signing up for a year. I had a coupon code, which I will share once we test it out as well, because obviously I don't want to promote something if it sucks, but we'll give
It
honest
does the
feedback.
only thing about technology I know for myself, like, on Saturday, Jordan asked me, he's like, "You're not recording today?" And it was just like I couldn't find a good place to attach the camera, and I was like, "I just want a moment where I don't have to worry about recording." So I really don't have any footage from Saturday, and I like to have footage because, like you said, you can go and drill, but if and I drill today with Robin, who's on my team at the Whispering Pines, and we can drill and drill and drill, but if we're just drilling to hit a ball, then yeah, we're creating muscle memory for a bad shot and ask and tell and then we go and we like, why am I not getting better? Well, because you're practicing a bad shot. And
Right,
so if
and
you're
that's kinda why I got it. I wanna use now that I'm not playing in leagues for a little while, I wanna use the machine, and I want it to tell me if I'm doing it r
yeah, yeah, like we were talking about like doing it right. And if you're just going to hit a ball because you want to call it drilling, then don't go do it. Don't do it at all. Be intentional. Even if how you practice is how you play a game. If you practice like shit, you play like shit. And Rob, I don't have to sit there and make it sound like I am building up my co-host. Your actions speak for themselves. So kudos to you on being the visionary out there.
Thanks, Mark. I don't get these compliments at home, so it's nice to hear them once in a
Yeah.
while.
Look, dude, you and I are in the same boat, man.
Usually it's, "Did you pick up the dog poop?"
Oh, yeah, and
And,
if she hears
"What
you
is this
doing
shit
that
on the
voice,
counter?"
we do that voice and it's like, I don't know if you ever have this one. Don't make me sound like your mother. Yeah, so, again, I can do that because my wife doesn't even listen to the fucking podcast. She we went to
No,
dinner.
I think my wife's on episode 2 still, so we're
Yeah,
good.
it's like
If she sees this, I could be dead by then even.
we went to dinner, a couple weeks ago to, Tuna Fresco with, Brian and Christina, Lori and I did. And, she was asking him questions, and I'm like, "I was on the podcast. It was on the
Yeah,
podcast.
you missed it.
It was on the
Yeah, you would've
podcast."
seen it.
And
Did Christina sit behind the pole?
it's funny, they texted that we're there, and I'm like, "Are you guys behind the pole?" And, and they are just an amazing couple. We had such a good time. But again,
Wow,
that's
I feel like I must have missed the invite. Maybe I was behind the pole when you
there's
sent
a
it.
bad connection. There's a bad connection.
I'm
Alright,
kidding.
so I'm classic stepping my foot in my mouth, and anything else in your lovely book of notes that you want to bring up?
No, no, and usually I'll write notes, like, way in advance because I get nervous what I wanna talk about, but I just wrote these down where we're sitting here, they just came up, so I'm getting better at that
See,
shit. What
that's
I'd like to do one day,
yeah.
and I think we could totally nail this, man, we just show up and shoot this shit live. But just think, like, why don't we just one day, let's put this out live, and maybe we can have another stream going on Facebook Live, and if somebody wants to jump in, we see them on Facebook Live or they comment and we send them a link and they jump right in and we talk about, hey, does anybody want to talk about this subject right now? And boom, that person jumps on and talks and they're off. And then we go on our day talking about something else.
Or
Anybody want to talk about this? Boom, you jump in.
yeah, or throw us a topic, throw us a question, and we'll fire off and we'll answer it because and we won't answer it with fluff. We won't answer it like with a question. We will flat out answer it. So we don't mind being put on the spot. So ask us the toughest question.
Yeah. And it will not be G rated.
Well, do you have to on? I think you have. I don't know. We'll find out very quickly.
Well, on YouTube, I think we can say whatever we want. On Facebook might be a different story, but we'll have to look into that.
That would be fun.
I do wanna say this to the viewers, like, I wanna apologize on our behalf too, because we have been trying to film more episodes and stuff, but just wanna point out, and it's not an excuse, but, like, Mark has a full-time job, a career, a family. I have a full-time job, a career, a family. We have multiple other things that we do in this world. I don't know specifically what you do all week long, Mark, but like I coach baseball, I play pickleball, I'm running events. So we are trying our best to get on here and do. And part of the reason why we're here tonight, kind of like filming stuff like this, is because we want to put out content, but we don't always have time to be like, you know what, Saturday at 3 o'clock, whoever you are, meet us at Whispering Pines under the canopy and let's film an episode. So we're going to do our best to keep putting stuff out there and meeting with people, but we're just trying to think of creative ways to do it. And part of it may be even like on the fly, like, hey, who wants to jump on it this very second and do a quick plug with us?
Yeah,
We are going to do our best to try to figure out ways to keep it coming. I'm
like Rob said, lives and careers. And as much as we love this channel, the thing for us that always comes first is our family. Before our pickleball, before our show, before our family, God and family. We want to make sure that this community that we have been a part of, and again, it's not a community that we created, it's a community that's there. We are very blessed to be a voice in it and allow others to share their voice to it and hopefully get out to others to come in and feel this community because it is special and it's something that we appreciate and we're extremely grateful for.
right. We're dedicated and I if you didn't know, because you won't know this when you watch the episode unless I say it, but it is 11:11 on a Tuesday night. I just got home from baseball. Mark had obligations tonight as well. We got on and we're trying to put something out to get it. Yeah, sitting here. I'm looking at the clock and I got a shower at some point, but
My wife was here.
my wife's probably in the next room right now doing that. But
Yeah.
yeah, we're gonna do whatever we can to get something out for you, and, we just appreciate the patience, and we want you to know we are dedicated to doing something. That's why we're kinda, like, trying to think of new and innovative ways to do that without specifically just meeting at Whispering Pines and bringing a guest on or whatever, so we will,
You never know. Well,
more to come.
this won't be. I want to say, Rob, thank you for your commitment to the show. And this is Pizzle for the Dog and Pizzle saying to everybody out there, peace out, Rob.
Yeah, and I just wanna say too, thanks, Mark, as well. Like I always say, you're a vital aspect of the show and the community, and you do a lot for us and for the community, and we appreciate that. And I mean, you make the show what it is with the content that you put out and the questions and the dedication to the editing. I mean, it doesn't just stop here at what you guys see on the screen, right? There is hours and hours of preparation and editing that Mark does behind the scenes, and we appreciate you.
I appreciate that.
Growing pains, right? That's it.
Oh yeah, I have learned through that. But yeah, I appreciate it. And I've told people it's nice to be able to do something with somebody that equally, if not more, puts time into it. So if that wasn't the case, I would not put the time that I do. But I have to match. It's the competitive side. I gotta keep up with Rob. You want to keep up with me, and it's that competitive fight and that enthusiasm and love for the game that we want to do this. Not have to, but we want to. So I want to say peace out, everybody.
Peace out, dog out at 11:15 p.m. It's close. He can catch a ball almost as good as Matt can.
How much fun I was having with Mac this morning. I was taking the camera and I was positioning it under the couch. So when he jumped over the couch, I put it in slow motion. Dude, it looks like Superman flying through the air.
Nice. So while we wait, viewers, I'll give you some lowdown on a couple of things that are actually up and coming, some current pickleball events. We have I actually just saw the announcement for this today, but Pickles for Paws is coming up on May 9th, right? At Harbor Ridge, 8:30 a.m. in Palm City, and that is a charity tournament. Dinking Dogs will also have a booth set up there, and maybe some of us will be playing in that. And they have anywhere from mixed 2.5 all the way up to mixed 4.0. That's Pickles for Paws again. May 9th, Harbor Ridge, Palm City. Also, Bola and iMind are hosting a tournament at Whispering Pines on the same day, May 9th at Whispering Pines. So check that event out as well.
Okay. You ready for this? Here we go. Now
I
here
might
he
lose
comes.
my
Look at
mic
this.
for
Look at
one
this. Rob,
second. I'm
Rob,
going
Rob,
to.
hold on. Ready? Dun, 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 dun.
Whoa.
Ball in mouth. Do you see that ball already in the mouth, flying over the couch and sticks the
Air Mac,
landing?
bro. Air Mac.
He's still
Like
going.
Air
Now
Jordan,
he
but
goes the other
Air
way.
Mac.
Look at that. Dude, clears it. You see how he just sticks it? Look at the reverse angle. Look at that. I'm over here. Hold on though. You know what the best part is?
He is making it look easy.
Here's one more. Look at the undershot. You see the undershot right here? Watch this. Then proceeds to hit the next part of the couch. You see that there? Right
Dude,
in
what a
your
legend.
grill.
Look at that.
Turns over, make sure he gets a good look at him. Then he jumps. Look at that, dude. This is all in one motion, right back to the top. Okay. So I think if a dog ever goes to play pickleball, Mac will definitely be probably one of the first dogs to hey, Dinkin' Dogs. I think Mac would be the poster child for Dinkin' Dogs. But we didn't want to have everybody come on today to talk about my dog because there's other things to talk about. Rob, we talked
I have
about
some questions actually about Mac still, though.
yeah,
Would Mac, would you say, would be a soft player, or do you think he would be a banger?
a total banger.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I see that agility and that speed and how he, one ball is not good enough. He's got one in the mouth and he's still trying to kick one across the house to you and jump off and try to put another one.